Well, the contentious Bill 5 funding for the TTC, as well as increasingly tense relationships between the City of Toronto and the newly minted Ford government. All of these hot-button issues as the city prepares for the fall's municipal election. So what can we expect as the campaign heats up? 680 News political specialist John Stahl joins us with predictions. We are about almost exactly 2 months away. John, good morning to you.
Hi, good morning to you. Nice to see you, Mel.
This is interesting, and we're starting to see the clause come out. We saw some statements released from John Tory and Jennifer Keesmaat using Bill 5 really as a way to say, hey, here's what I would do as mayor. What do you make of all of this? And is this just, this is politics?
Well, it is politics. We'll get to the court case in just a minute before we wrap up. But in terms of the political campaign, there is always the kind of to and fro and challenging of each other's, if not character, then policies on the mayoralty race. The difference here, of course, is that John Tory, as the incumbent, has a pretty good track record. I mean, there are people who would take issue with some of the things he has done or not done. Transit is going to remain top of the line issue, particularly the decisions over the Scarborough train, the extension, and whether or not that was the right decision. But keeping in mind, this is not a typical change election. I think we can fairly say that there is not a time for change quotient that is measured by pollsters so high as we have seen in the past. You get a post-David Miller, it comes to Rob Ford. John Tory's had one term. I think a lot of people recognize that the guy works from morning to night, and he's got a pretty good track record. He has the establishment behind him. Jennifer Keesmaat, come lately, a lot of controversy as we are leading up to the Labor Day weekend about her motives and what her policy would be. It hasn't been fleshed out completely yet. She does not necessarily have the support of the developers in this country or in this city. As the former planner, there has been a lot of tension between that planning department and the developers in Toronto, but they are behind John Tory. So that's the mayoral race in a nutshell. What we have, of course, is this court decision coming up, and we won't know until the end of this month on the 31st whether or not the court has anything to say about how this is going to play out.
Well, I want to get your take on this because it's going to the courts at the end of the month, and then we're supposed to head to the polls October 22nd. A lot could happen in that time.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, this is a very unusual situation. I think, at the outset, most agree that the province does have the legal authority to do what they have done. The question is whether or not the judge in this case and Toronto's challenge of it is going to have anything to do with the policy or the politics of it and the timing of it as opposed to the legal right to do it. And I think it's very clear that the province has jurisdiction over all municipal governments. So City Council may not like it, lawyers for the city may not like it, the mayor may not like it, but that doesn't mean that a judge won't rule that the province has the right to do it. I mean, they are actually responsible for every municipality. The City of Toronto Act is a child of the provincial government. The City of Toronto can't raise individual taxation without asking permission from the provincial government. So it's clear they can do this. It's just how will it be framed when it gets to court and whether a judge rules that meddling in the election, as John Tory has suggested is the case, would be the wrong thing to do. But if the judge is there to apply law and not politics, this will fly.
Yeah, we will be watching this one. John Stahl, a pleasure as always. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, my pleasure.